In a world that often moves too fast, there are still places where dignity, grace, and simple kindness quietly shine through. At London's Horse Guards Parade, where history meets daily ceremony, something special sometimes happens. Amidst the polished uniforms and majestic horses, the barriers between formality and feeling gently fall away. Today, we invite you to witness a series of tender encounters, where little ones meet the king's horse, where kindness is offered without words, and where tradition opens its arms to joy. A super kind king's guard stops in his tracks, allowing a little girl to get the perfect photo with the royal horse. A moment of pure grace and thoughtfulness. Watch this heartwarming moment as a young girl's eyes light up the instant she sees the king's horse. An adorable little boy, dressed like a royal guard himself, stands proudly beside a real king's guard. Showing genuine respect and admiration. At Horse Guards Parade, where time-honored tradition stands tall, there are moments that quietly soften even the most rigid ceremony. Here, amid polished boots and solemn stances, we witness gentle gestures, shared smiles, and tender connections between noble horses, dedicated soldiers, and visitors from all walks of life. Today, we invite you to pause with us, to witness not only duty fulfilled, but humanity revealed. These are the moments that remind us tradition is not only guarded, it is shared in kindness and grace. A gentle act of kindness. The king's horse kissed her softly, as if offering a blessing. A magical moment beyond words. A joyful boy lit up with happiness when meeting the royal horse, who seemed just as pleased to see him. A magical encounter between the female king's guard and her majestic horse. A moment of harmony at Horse Guards in London. Amid the pageantry of royal tradition and the silent strength of ceremonial service, there are moments that quietly touch the soul. At London's Horse Guards Parade, where discipline and duty are ever present, a softer side often reveals itself. Through the smile of a soldier, the gentle nudge of a noble horse, or a kind gesture extended to a child, a veteran, or a visitor with special needs. Today, we share a collection of these rare and heartwarming encounters. Small glimpses of grace, where tradition meets tenderness. The king's guard gently moved his horse closer to a special guest to help her get a better photo. A truly respectful and beautiful gesture. The mother of a special needs child encourages her to thank the king's guard after taking a photo. The guard's kind smile and nod make the moment unforgettable. A caregiver introduces the king's horse to a person with special needs, creating a gentle and emotional moment of connection. A heart-touching moment unfolds as a royal horse gently interacts with a warm and smiling family. You can feel the connection and kindness. A gentle touch from a tourist, respectful and kind, as the horse guard stands calmly, showing trust and mutual understanding. This young woman in a wheelchair smiles brightly as she captures a perfect photo next to the king's horse. A beautiful, inclusive moment. A touching scene as the king's horse gently leans toward a little girl, sharing a brief, beautiful connection across species and age. A real-life fairy tale. A little girl meets a kind-hearted royal horse, and for a moment, the world seems filled only with wonder. Another girl in a wheelchair receives a special gift, a photo with the king's horse who leans in gently, as if he knows just how much it means. She is a special child and a truly sweet young lady. Her presence brought warmth to everyone near the royal horse. A kind armed officer made way for a disabled visitor to take a picture. Compassion and service in perfect balance. Heartwarming and speechless, this woman in a wheelchair shared a peaceful moment with the royal horse, full of grace and quiet joy. A boy in a wheelchair and his parents took a treasured photo with the king's guard. A family moment to remember forever. Was it kindness or shelter from rain? Either way, the guard's calm presence inside the box created a beautiful moment. A cheerful changing of the guard ceremony. A rare moment when a guard couldn't stop smiling. Such joy is contagious. Adorable encounter. A little girl holding an apple catches the attention of the king's horse. Pure sweetness. A warm bond formed between a royal horse and a tourist. One of those magical, gentle interactions that touches the heart. The little king's guard came to meet his heroes. An adorable and proud visit, full of admiration and joy. A caring soldier stepped in to calm the king's horse, showing not only discipline, but also compassion. A tiny tourist dog catches the royal horse's attention, and for a few sweet seconds, mutual curiosity creates a magical encounter. A young boy salutes the guard with surprising formality. It's a moment of innocent respect that touches the heart. A beautiful woman blows a kiss to the royal horse, and the horse silently gazes back. A quiet, tender moment of mutual appreciation. The royal horse shows affection to a grandmother and her grandchild. Their warm smiles make this a memory to last forever. She fell in love, not just with the royal horse, but with the entire king's guard. A soft smile reveals her admiration. This is too cute and too funny. A well-timed action by a soldier brings joy to tourists and proves why discipline and charm can go hand in hand. Possibly the cutest moment ever at the Horse Guards. A tiny dog and a majestic horse locked eyes. It was mutual curiosity and affection. A man in a wheelchair and a small child shared a special memory near the royal horses, moving and unforgettable. An armed police officer gently encouraged a woman in a wheelchair to approach the king's horse for a commemorative photo, a kind and respectful moment. Everyone smiled when a man named Buska opened his tiny umbrella to shield his phone, and the king's guard laughed and shook his head with amusement. Parents proudly pose with their sweet baby next to the royal horse, a memory that surely stays with them forever. An adorable little dog came to visit the royal guards. The sight brought joy and smiles to all nearby. One soldier adjusted his fellow guard's helmet with care, a small act of brotherhood and pride in duty. Two veterans met the King's Guard horses, a quiet, powerful exchange of respect between generations of service.
Sorry.
Two brothers posed happily with the royal horse and guard. Their innocent joy lit up the moment. A sweet tourist gently touched the king's horse and blew it a kiss. Kindness and wonder wrapped into one loving gesture. This outstanding soldier kindly assisted his colleague, a beautiful show of teamwork and quiet dignity among the royal guards. A small moment that meant so much. The soldier adjusts the horse's reins with care, highlighting quiet dedication behind the scenes. The crowd melts as a police officer lovingly pats the king's troop horse. This kind of affection needs no words. A special tourist in a wheelchair shares a beautiful moment with the king's horse. Her joy radiates through the screen. Massive respect, one viewer comments as a soldier goes out of his way to give water to the guard. Humanity behind the uniform. Warning, cuteness overload. A king's life guard horse lovingly interacts with a young tourist, melting hearts in central London. A girl sends a heartfelt kiss toward the king's horse. Her innocent gesture brings warmth to the whole square. Not all heroes wear capes. One kind tourist helped clean up rubbish near the horse guards, showing true respect for tradition and place. Warm moment. The King's Guard horse showed kindness to a disabled man. A small act, but filled with humanity. A disabled little girl in a wheelchair was thrilled to get her photo taken with the King's Guard. A moment full of joy and dignity. Young tourists stood respectfully to take pictures with the guard. One kid sweetly said, "Thank you." A small phrase, a big heart. Her smile says everything. A beautiful female soldier visiting her comrades and the royal horses, spreading joy with her presence. Two little girls stare in wonder at the King's Guard, mesmerized by the grandeur and elegance of the moment. A baby nestled in her mother's arms lights up with joy at the sight of the royal horse. A picture-perfect family memory. A fluffy dog sat calmly next to the royal horse for a photo. A simple, sweet moment shared between two gentle souls. Super cute. A young girl gave a cheerful greeting to the horse guard. Her innocence brought smiles to those watching. A tender photo, mother and her newborn baby posing with the royal horse, pure love and gentleness captured in one beautiful frame. Father and son shared a special moment with the King's horse. Their smiles showed a bond that words could never fully express. A warm scene, an officer taking a photo with a special tourist. It's these little gestures that touch hearts the most. The horse shows visible excitement as a soldier gives it water. Even the mightiest creatures enjoy small acts of care. A truly kind gesture. The guard gently moves his horse to let a young girl retrieve her glasses. A simple act, but full of heart. a royal gift in the form of a gentle gesture from the King's Guard horse, a priceless moment shared with a special child. I am his auntie, a proud family member beams with love as they visit the King's Guard, a rare behind-the-scenes moment of pride and family connection. In the most adorable way, the royal horse seems to wish a little girl a happy birthday. Her joyful expression says it all. A blind boy acted as if he were the guard, and the real King's Guard smiled warmly at him. What a beautiful moment. Adorable. The royal guard noticed a sweet little boy waving at the horse and responded with quiet affection. So heartwarming. This King's Guard was clearly in a good mood. No shouting today, allowing tourists to enjoy a gentle, respectful moment with the horse. The guard couldn't hold back a laugh as the young boy's playful behavior warmed everyone's hearts. A rare, lighthearted moment. A heartwarming moment when the King's Guard allowed a disabled woman to gently pet his majestic horse. Simple kindness at its best. An adorable moment when the King's Guard noticed a toddler and repositioned his horse to help the family get a perfect photo.
Come on the bus. Try
Heartwarming moment. The King's horse shows gentle affection to a special visitor in a wheelchair. Truly touching. A woman in a wheelchair smiled with joy as she and her family took photos beside the royal horse. Pure happiness. Another touching moment. A special woman in a wheelchair posed with the royal horse. Her smile said everything. They made beautiful memories at Horse Guards. 3 disabled visitors in wheelchairs shared a joyful moment with the royal horses. A little child blew kisses to King Ormond's horse, a pure, heart-melting gesture that touched everyone watching. A sweet surprise. A policewoman visited the Horse Guards, bringing a moment of calm and delight to tourists and guards alike. A deeply moving moment. A wheelchair-bound visitor beamed with happiness while meeting the horse in the guard. True joy on her face. At the Horse Guards parade, tradition demands respect. The King's Guard, silent, disciplined, unwavering, stands as a symbol of honor earned over centuries. But not every visitor understands the weight of that silence. Some mock the rules, some cross the line, and some learn their lesson the hard way. Today, we witness the moments where foolishness meets the firm hand of tradition, and respect is no longer asked. It is enforced. Silly idiot provoked the wrong King's Guard. A foolish young man touched the reins and was loudly shouted at by the guard. Shocking and unbelievable accident with King's Guard horse. The horse bit and dragged a tourist down to the ground. Everyone was left in shock. The King's Guards stand not merely as sentinels, but as living symbols of centuries-old honor, discipline, and service to the crown. Today, we witness powerful moments where the guards and horses are forced to respond, to protect not only the sanctity of their post, but the safety of the very public they serve. Some may find these scenes surprising, even startling, but let them also serve as reminders. Tradition commands respect. And in these hallowed grounds, carelessness carries real consequences. Little girl in shock. The King's Guard shouts, "Make way!" A reminder that parents must pay more attention to their children in these areas. Enough! Stubborn tourist warned twice for letting her daughter touch the horse. The guard firmly tells her off for ignoring the rules. Can't believe it. So disrespectful. The guard yells loudly, chasing the rude tourist away from the restricted zone. Big mistake. The guard stomps his foot to stop a boy who crosses the line. A shocking moment for the child and his parents. In the heart of London, where cobblestones have borne the footsteps of monarchs, stands a living symbol of discipline, duty, and enduring tradition, the King's Guard. And beside them, the majestic horses, noble creatures, trained to remain calm amid the bustle of the modern world. Yet even here, sacred ground is not immune to poor manners. Some visitors, perhaps caught up in the excitement, forget where they are. Others act with open disrespect, crossing boundaries that should never be challenged. In this video, we witness tense and sobering moments when the composure of the guard is tested, when the dignity of the horse is threatened, and when the values of restraint, order, and honor stand firm.
Oh.
Disgusting behavior, this young woman stuck her tongue out at the king's horse, a total lack of respect for this sacred place. She ignored the sign and paid the price. The horse bit her arm, and it clearly hurt. Stay outside the lines. Tourists blocked the path, then the guard shouted with authority. Some people still underestimate how serious their duty is. A woman leaned in and tried to kiss the horse on the lips. Not charming, just incredibly dangerous and inappropriate. Police shouted firmly at tourists who wandered into the arches.
There we go. That's it. Look at that, they're all getting trucked out. Brilliant. And rightly, I think what happened is the crowd is so big behind me, the officers didn't even realize that this entire area utterly...
The tunnel is not a playground. It's an active duty zone.
We kind of spoke about that before, haven't we? How would we ever see people flooding into this area?
Don't touch the reins, the guard firmly told her. These horses are not for petting. They're working with trained military riders. Embarrassing behavior. A stubborn woman refused to leave, forcing the police to step in and firmly tell her to step back now. The king's horse bit a male tourist quickly and sharply. The tourist jumped back in shock, clearly feeling the painful bite. Idiotic move. A tourist grabbed the reins of the king's horse, and the guard reacted immediately to protect his horse. A female tourist stood dangerously close to the royal horse, almost getting bitten due to her risky behavior. Police officers swiftly removed disrespectful individuals who ignored rules and endangered themselves at the horse guards area. The soldier had enough of these stubborn tourists constantly breaking the rules and risking everyone's safety around the royal horses. A mother let her daughter stand too close and touch the horse, nearly got bitten. A dangerous mistake that could have ended badly. A young boy screams as the giant horse bites his head gently. Parents must take full responsibility for putting children in danger.
Wow, that's a bit dangerous. Where are the parents? Oh, what on earth? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness me! Wait, let's move the camera away.
Another careless moment. A little girl got too close and had her coat bitten by the horse. These animals are not toys. He looked terrified. This tourist nearly got bitten by the king's horse. A lesson in respecting space and not provoking the animals.
Sort it out.
Spanish teens mock the guard, forcing police to step in. Sometimes intervention is the only way to stop ongoing disrespect.
Well done, officer. Idiots, no? No.
A rude female tourist grabbed the horse's reins, showing a shocking lack of respect. You won't believe how many times this woman was told to stand back and still refused to listen.
Stand back. Stand back. No, as in away from the wall.
Disrespectful tourists refused to let go of the horse's head and reins, despite multiple warnings. Get out! A tourist receives a shocking surprise from a female king's guard after ignoring rules. Run, idiot! Lady gets bitten by the Royal King's Guard horse. An incredible but painful lesson about respecting boundaries. A disrespectful tourist entered the forbidden zone and was immediately reprimanded by the King's Guard.
Get back a little bit, guys, please. Yes, that's running.
Their behavior was loud and reckless. They nearly got removed. Respect is not optional when you're in the presence of royal duty.
That's exactly where I'm standing, directly in front now, so we'll see if if the hands end up in the wrong spot.
Extreme heat, disorderly tourists, and even an arrest.
He's walking towards them, they just stand there like, duh. Oh.
The guard and police handled it all with calm professionalism.
Oh, I wonder if you could talk to me. Sorry, my bad.
The guard firmly told the father and daughter to step back. A reminder to all, rules protect both people and animals. Get out now! A large group of loud tourists were removed by police after disrespecting the King's Guard at Horse Guards.
Here we are. So, police have had enough. Yep. Exactly. All out. Well done, officer. Bye-bye. See you, folks. Learn to respect them.
A young child was nearly bitten by the King's horse. Adults must keep children at a safe distance to avoid serious danger. Armed police removed a rude family from the arches for disrupting the area near the guard. These rules are no joke.
That didn't take long, did it? Goodness. Photographers, yeah, mentioning that it's new. The gatekeeper's new.
Make way! The King's Guard shouted loudly, commanding respect and clearing the path during official duty.
Make way!
It happened in a flash. The horse bit the young man and startled him. Always maintain a respectful distance. This tourist didn't expect it. She looked terrified as the King's Guard marched toward her for being in the... The police rushed in immediately to protect the King's Guard after witnessing a serious moment of disrespect from a tourist. A female King's Guard firmly reminded a tourist not to touch the reins of the royal horse. The King's Guard gave a massive "make way" shout to a disrespectful tourist who ignored all warnings.
Make way!
The guard politely but firmly asked young tourists to step out of the restricted area around the royal horses. Horse versus idiot. Tourist touches the horse excessively, completely disrespectful and risky behavior. She stood far too close, and the horse bit her coat. Tourists often forget that these animals must be treated with care. The guard yelled powerfully at a tourist inside the box. This isn't a place for laughter. It's a place of duty and respect. A child's scooter rolled into the restricted area, startling the horse. The guard quickly reacted and reminded tourists to keep children under control.
Gelding or mare? What can I say? I mean, I know it's
That's a giant horse. Gotta be a boy.
What the hell? I didn't even see it.
To be fair, I don't think. I don't.
A tourist got far too close. Then came the guard's deafening shout, a powerful reminder. Respect their duty or face the consequences.
Yes, exactly.
Unbelievable. This tourist tried to put his arm around the guard. These soldiers are not for selfies, they're on royal duty.
Wait, what? No way.
Outrageous. A tourist rudely and disrespectfully touched the royal reins despite clear warnings from the king's guard. Don't mess with the king's guard. A firm reaction followed when a tourist showed disrespect to the horse guards in London.
Make way! The King's Lifeguard!
Your flag is not allowed here. A police officer firmly reminded a female tourist who disrespected the rules at the horse guards. This man dramatically overreacted to a light horse bite, perhaps hoping for attention. Some called him the best actor at horse guards. Get out! Armed police shouted at a stubborn tourist who refused to listen.
Crowding. See that again. How can they not understand? No teacher again. Typical French. What the hell is this guy?
A dangerous situation ended with authority and speed.
Look at this. Is this guy completely dumb or what?
A tense moment. Two men arrested as the king's guard cleared the way with firm authority. Duty meets discipline at the parade. A visitor foolishly tried to tease the king's horse. It wasn't a game. The horse and guard made their stance very clear. Even young tourists need to understand boundaries. Spanish kids crossed the line, and one ignored the police. It didn't end well.
These people are. Where's the teacher of this group?
Yes.
They're way too close. They're being very rude, disrespectful, all of them.
Yes?
Yes, very.
Unbelievable, really, to be honest.
The soldier gave a clear warning, but this tourist simply didn't care. Moments like this test the patience of those on duty. He boldly walked inside the arches and tried to pose. The guard wasted no time and issued a strong verbal warning. Too close, too fast. This woman got bitten by the king's horse. Disrespect and carelessness can lead to painful consequences. Mocking the guard is never okay. This rude tourist crossed the line with immature and offensive behavior.
See how long it needs to wait and see how long they want to spend here making stupid poses.
The woman's startled reaction said it all. She barely avoided getting bitten by the royal horse. These moments are no joke. An unbelievable moment. A disrespectful tourist elbowed a Kingsguard horse, causing widespread outrage among the crowd. Wearing moment. A woman showed extreme disrespect by touching the Kingsguard's boot, an action considered highly inappropriate. This tourist seriously crossed the line by stepping into the restricted area. Too dangerous. An adult allowed their child to stand dangerously close to the horse and even hold the reins. A foolish tourist ignored multiple warnings and crossed into the restricted area, despite repeated alerts from the Kingsguard. Even during the changing of the guard, this woman kept taking photos. Police escorted her away from the horse area immediately. Rude tourists laughed and lingered until police stepped in and firmly removed them from the arches near the guard. Idiots aplenty. A foolish tourist tried to mimic the Kingsguard as they returned to horse guards and paid the price.
Now he thinks it's funny. I'll try and talk to him 1 second, guys. To be honest.
Disrespectful kids tried to make trouble for the Royal Kingsguards, showing an appalling lack of manners. A soldier requested a woman to leave after she attempted to provoke him. Despite officers warning her to stay away from the horses. Careless tourists recklessly bumped into the Kingsguard horses, risking both their safety and the horse's calmness. An ignorant father forced his little daughter to stand too close to a royal horse, frightening her into tears. Mocking teens quickly learn not to mess with the king's guard. The guard's reaction is swift and stern. Heart-stopping. A tourist's pram with a toddler is nearly dragged by a guard's horse. Extremely dangerous. This could have ended badly. The guard is furious with a group of disrespectful tourists. He shouts loudly and clears the area near the horse.
Get back! Do not touch the rein!
Irresponsible parenting. She walks under the horse with her child. One wrong move, and this could have been a disaster. The guard uses his boot to make a point, a light kick to warn a girl who crossed the boundary.